Welcome everybody, François Latarde, JDR D30, making a video response to Sirko. I hope I have your name right. Well, in the title your name is right, so I will. I'm okay with that. But Sirko and your video, heroes or commoners. In your video, you talk about the recent experience playing a commoner in the game. And you are wondering why someone would play a heroic character, someone with very high level, we may say, and that plays heroes, but not only for the power gaming side, for the role playing side. Okay, what I can say around that, I don't have a clear answer to your question. So while rambling, some of the stuff, maybe some answers may come out, so it's a way for me to sort things out in my head and maybe help you in your quest of finding the answers to that. Let's talk about high level character and powerful heroes. Most of the time, it was only for the game that the players were taking powerful heroes. It was for the power game. They put stuff on their sheet so that they have it easy around the table. When they roll the dice, it's almost efficient every time. They don't want to put effort into their playing. They want to take it easy, and the numbers on their sheet helps them do that. They can hide themselves behind numbers. They can, the numbers on their sheet is doing a big part of the work at their place. Yeah, so that's what I am seeing. I see that right now, in the Pathfinder campaign I'm in. Even the Game Master, he's a little on the power gaming side, and me, I have a Knight character, and I choose stuff, and he often comes to me, why don't you choose that feat instead? It would help you get that bonus. And I said, no, I want that feat because that's what my character wants. It goes with what I'm creating with that character. So the Pathfinder D&D 4th edition and 3rd edition are meant to be power gamed. Okay, they are meant to have big numbers and make it easy for the heroes. They want to have that heroic type, but for no reasons. Yeah, the reasons you have to create it. But basically, a character, not a character, a player won't think much about their character story. Yes, some of them will do, but most of the time they want to game. They want to be a little driven by the game master, and they want to roll dice when they are asked to. So it depends on the type of player, but most of the time, being a big hero often means that they want to power game a little, at least. For the commoner part, I really do enjoy playing commoner, by the way. Usually when I get into a game, I try to make some awkward characters and not powerful ones. I don't seek power. I seek interesting people that will live a life into that fantasy. For example, I had in the 90s, in the 2nd edition game, I had a priestess of agriculture. When I've made this character, the game master and the other players, why don't you make a priest of war? No, I don't want to make a priest of war. I want to make a priestess of agriculture, and I want to pray for every farmers in the area to have good things to grow in their field. Okay, I have made in Conspiracy X a long time ago. I have made a grocery store manager, and the black. I was I was a black person. Yeah, so trying some stuff. and you know, getting out of the ordinary. I have made in Shadowrun, you talk about Shadowrun, I have made an albinos decker, and he was less than average. You know, in combat, he was doing nothing. You know, just by the time he got his gun in his hand, every enemies were dead, because the street samurai and I don't remember were doing the job inside the round. They were power gamers, and yeah, it was very efficient. Roll the dice, get the big number, and bam, the combat's done. Yeah, okay. Now, being a hero. Why being a hero in a role-playing manner? Why being such a powerful character? Well, in a role-playing sense, it would be because these people have very interesting life and very dangerous one. You know, with power comes an amount of danger, usually. So yeah, Luke Skywalker, the example you talk in your video, he has a very interesting life. So in a role-playing sense, it can be very interesting to play. Yeah, because you can get deep into the passion and the emotions of that character, because they don't have it easy. They have big responsibilities that's coming with their power. Yeah, so in a role-playing manner, they can have their life a quite full life. But it doesn't, you know, we can have a full life with the commander. It's just that the stakes won't be as high. So when you are very powerful, you are dealing with powerful enemies. Take Game of Thrones, where lots of the main characters are very high level ones, if you can take it that way. And they have a very interesting life. You know, they are in danger everywhere. So maybe the thrill of being into those highest spheres and having a big influence into your world at every time you do something. I don't know why I have an image in my head, but it's a musical image. But let's take the Beatles. Okay, you know that band. When they began, they were commoners doing rock and roll, but they have some kind of talents. But they had an interesting life. You know, they have been through Germany playing clubs, and they were only teenagers, and they were playing sometimes 8 hours straight without stopping. And they were teenagers, and they weren't paid as much, and they weren't fed, and they were on drugs all the time to keep, you know, to keep awake. They had a very interesting life. A couple of years later, they were the biggest act in the world. And yeah, they had an interesting life because they had lots of attention on them. Was it interesting? No, but maybe, you know, the stardom is something heavy to have on your shoulder. But everything they've made had an influence on the world. You know, when they got out Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band, the whole music scene just changed. The next day that album came out. So if we take the Beatles example into role-playing game, maybe that's some kind of a comparison. Why would someone would like to play that high of a level of a hero and having all that magic stuff and all that? It's because of the influence they will have on the world, and not just because they will roll good. They will always have good rolls when they play with their dice, but everywhere they will go, they will have an influence, and it's a great occasion to role play those big scenes. I am searching a word. In French it's enjeu. Okay, maybe I will find it after. But role-playing those big events in the history of a kingdom. it's up to the game master to bring those role-playing moments to the players and force them into it, and trying not to use their sheet but just using the character and their status to role-play that out. Why? Is there other reasons why someone would play someone as strong as that? I think it's the main reason. You're doing it big, and yeah, you have a big influence. You don't need numbers to have that influence. You are there. Another example, I'm rambling. I remember Birthright. It was a setting for 2nd edition. At first level, you were the king. Okay, you were some kind of a child king. So, in numbers, you weren't powerful heroes, but you already had that status, and you were already dealing with major forces of the world. So yeah, and you were trying to protect yourself. So you may have maybe other player characters playing the bodyguard for you, and you were searching for the kingdom to have some artifacts to have more power. It was quite interesting. It was I hope they will get it back in some way for 5th edition. It was a great setting. Yes, so that is my response. I hope that it may open some lights for you. Yeah, and as I said, the game master has a job to do. If the hero, the players want to do that big heroes, he has to check them to see if it's only for the power gaming side, or if there's a way to have that role-playing, epic style of game with major forces. Oh, it was quite rambly, but I was happy to respond to you. I hope it helps you, and see you next time. Bye.